what else might be flying up the boards? The Eagles, because the Eagles might be on the clock.
Chiefs on over, took my home.
And it's a direct reflection of this man. Why this man? Mr. Stefon Diggs got released
Crazy.
from the New England Patriots. I don't know what the rumor is. I heard and read that it could have been something with his contract that they were trying to work out and they just couldn't work out. I think it's more too much baggage of everything's going off the field with him right now that he more likely has to deal with. But now the Patriots do not have a number one receiver, and I hate to do it, but this is why Patriot fans are really excited. I got this off a Patriot fan page. Ugh, don't even look right. Don't even look right. But this is what they're banging on the wall for. And the word on the street, let me put it up. Howie, would you trade A.J. Brown for a first round and a second round pick right now, bro?
Would I trade A.J. Brown for a first and second?
Shit, you might trade him as
a
far
first
as
and second? You said a first and second?
A first, so I think it will be something, and I think this is what everybody's kind of been saying, a Quentin Williams type deal. This year's second and a next year's first.
Oh, this year's second and next year's first.
Yeah, this year's second and next year's first.
Yeah, I'll help him pack his bags. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know you would.
I'll help him. I'll be at the door to help him load the car. I mean, a first round pick and a second, absolutely.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be here, so bye. And I'm going to get a first and second out of it, absolutely. He wants to be in New England. Go to New England. He wants to be underneath coach and do his thing, and that's where he feels as though he can flourish. He may be able to. You got Drake May, that he might be able to get the ball to him better than what Jalen may be getting the ball to him. I guess that's what he's assuming.
Mm-hmm.
So goodbye. I'm surprised they did get rid of Stefon Diggs. That's crazy. I thought they just signed him for a 3-year.
They just signed him for a 3-year deal. I think it was like 3 years, like $60 million.
So to release him is kind of crazy. That sounds like it's some back room stuff.
For sure.
Hopefully it's not too crazy. I would have thought they would, if they were looking to maybe make a deal, they could trade Stefon Diggs to us if they want an AJ or something like that, where we can come back with a number one, or somebody as a vet. I don't really like Stefon's off-field issues and his personality, but when he's in between the lines, he's a pretty good athlete. I guess you're gonna get the same drama because he does bitch and complain.
He come with baggage, man.
Yeah. So. But if I was going to be New England, I'd have probably used him as a tool and not just release him. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't get it either. But I mean, this is what's out there, right? And then New England, I think, is positioning themselves to obviously be in a market for a number one receiver, right? They don't really got much behind Diggs. I think Douglas,
Mac Hollins,
and I forget who the third one might be.
It's like Keyshawn Booty, right?
Yeah, you're right, Booty. Yeah. So, AJ would probably be perfect for them, right? Gives them that number one threat, number one receiver. The question is, are they going to pony up the value for AJ, which I think is valid for a player of his caliber. What is he, 28, 29 years old? He's probably got 3 or 4 years left in the tank. I think at this level of what he's playing at. And I think that I think either 2 2s or a 1 and a 2 are probably sufficient for him. Now, would I trade him? No. I'm on the other side of this. I would not trade AJ Brown.
Not for a first and a second?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Oh,
I wouldn't. Because to me, one, the first and the second is not going to replace him, right? You're hoping it will, but it won't. And then because I think AJ Brown is a legit top 5 receiver in the league, counting who you talk to or argue to. For me, I think he is a top 5 receiver in the league. And then I think that it puts you in a position offensively, and it puts you in a position as a franchise, they can put you back, and you start looking at a rebuild, right? Rebuild kind of / retool, right? Because they got a lot of pieces on defense that they're young. They're losing a little bit, but for the most part, the core is going to be there. So you can hang on that you're going to have a solid and a top 5, top 10 defense more likely every year, especially if Fangio sticks around for a little bit. But offensively, you're going to have to rebuild the whole fucking thing. I've been saying that for a while.
I completely disagree with you there.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
Man, why are we always disagreeing? We got to get back on the same.
Because it doesn't.
We gotta go out to eat or something.
Yeah, that take is a little as far fetched.
We on the opposite side of the fence way too goddamn much.
Yeah, this
is to be my guy, man. What's up with you, dog?
To have to retool and rebuild and all that. I get you lose a great player in AJ Brown, but to act like that he can't be replaced with, say you give him you're saying he's an A+. Right, so if you sub him in with a B+ and you have Devontae that's an A, like we are right. You are right. You still got Saquon Barkley is one of the best running backs in the league. You got a new offense, so we can all hopefully get behind the offense that's going to be there in that process. But what I wouldn't do is put AJ Brown with Coach Mannion right now, because what happens then? What happens if he's not getting what he wants then? And he's not getting the rock as much as he wants, because then we're right back in the same Kevin Petula situation. And we can't do that. If you're going to be a part of the team, you need to be with the good and the bad. Yes, we all want to win, but we can't be out here throwing people under the bus because you're not getting what you want. He has to go, bro. Right? Like you said, let Devontae get up here. Let him figure out who he's going to be. He can be a number one. And if you don't think he can be a Jackson Jigaba, but maybe he can be a 1,400-yard receiver, that's still elite. It's still elite.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. So, my thought is, like, when you take AJ Brown off this team, what's left is a big difference, right?
We've won without AJ Brown. We have won games.
Yeah, but we won a lot more with AJ.
He plays more, but when he's not in, I mean, let's look. We could probably look that stat. That'd probably be something to look up. Eagles record with and without AJ Brown.
I know his record with AJ Brown is silly.
Right. So, no, I'm saying, but without him, do we win? That's what we want to know. Do we want to know what is the Eagles record without AJ Brown?
So Jalen Hurts record without AJ Brown. Let's see. That don't sound right.
What don't sound right?
He's 2-2. 14 and 19 without AJ Brown. It's a big difference.
Without AJ. No, this is.
So I'm looking at Jalen Hurts because that's who my quarterback is.
No, not Jalen Hurts. I want to know what the Eagles is without AJ Brown.
Oh, why would you do it without Jalen? Jalen's.
I just want to know. I mean, AJ. So we're saying AJ Brown missed how many games? What are we talking about? That doesn't make sense. 14 and what?
It said 14 and 19.
If AJ hasn't played over 40 games, he needs to go right now for a second round pick. That number don't make sense. AJ Brown he's not playing. How many games has AJ Brown missed? That's another issue. If that's the case, he's not healthy.
Nah, this has got to be I think this is just games in general for Jalen Hurts. So there's two stats. I see one that says 2-2.
Makes sense. I don't think AJ missed that many games. Maybe like 4.
Yeah, 2. They're 2-2 with games without AJ Brown, and then with AJ Brown,
and that may be including the losses. Maybe including like week 16 or 17.
They're 43 and 9 with AJ Brown.
Sure. I mean, we win. So without AJ Brown, they're 2-2, and we got to just look, and then we can now go to the micro level and see what those games were, because it could be week 17 games when he wasn't there, right? I know the one game we won, we played, I think Devontae Smith had went crazy, and that was when we played like the Saints. Was it the one time we played the Saints and AJ wasn't there or something like that?
And Devontae, what he had, like 170, 180?
Yeah, it was like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying, and I don't want to like, listen, AJ Brown is a great talent. You want to say he's top 5? I'm not going to argue with that he's not top 5. But what I'm saying is that him leaving and us getting something, right, to be able to replace him and let Devontae become that number one officially, I think we're okay. I don't think that we are going to fall off this whole cliff I'll be more worried about the O-line more than AJ Brown leaving. You got to be able to protect. You got to be able to run the football. AJ gives us yes.
And it's kind of funny because I heard some other things about Goddard, that Goddard might not be out of here as much as we think. Because I heard there was something in the clause with his contract where if he signed somewhere else, there's still Eagles eat $20 million in dead cap money. So it's almost like you let him walk, you're going to eat $20 million, but if you trade him, you can kind of change that number. This was just what I heard on the radio. How valid or how true it is, I don't honestly know. I didn't look that much into it, but there's a chance that Dallas Goedert comes back. You need that, right? You need one. You need one of the two. You can't lose both. In my opinion.
There's a lot of tight ends in the draft too, though, so we can also draft the tight ends.
Yeah,
not to replace. There's some tight ends in the draft.
Yeah, there's some good tight ends.
I did watch that segment, and there was a lot of tight ends. It was probably like 30 damn near tight ends. I'm like, damn, why so many tight ends?
I think the top 3 tight ends all tested phenomenal.
Yeah, so there are some tight ends. We really need one. We'll probably get them in the second round, something like that.
Yeah, and I think doesn't Stanford always produce good tight ends? I think the kid from Stanford is a decent tight end.
Sure,
Stanford and Iowa usually always produce good tight ends.
Yep,
if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, no, I just think that you lose that much production, and if you trade away AJ, right, you get another first, you get a second, maybe you move up to get an impact player on offense, possibly a tight end, right, or even a tackle or something like that in the first round. My only thought or my problem is that it's going to take time for this thing to kind of turn around and see what it is. Right, it's going to take time for Mannion to get in.
Right, I think it's going to take time regardless.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but with talent, you can kind of weigh that a little bit better, right? Talent, it might outfit the scheme, right? AJ's going to do things that the scheme just can't account for, right? So I think that's where my concern is. My concern is if you trade AJ Brown, and I do think this thing falls off a cliff, you might not see the Eagles back at a high level for a couple of years. And I just think we have so much talent in this team. Like, is it really a time to kind of revamp and reboot it when you still have a window? Because you're closing the window at that point. It's not like it's imploding. You're just letting the window close at that point. You know what I mean? In my opinion. Because like on paper, they're still a top probably 3 team in the league, and they should be favorites in the upper tier of favorites to go back to the Super Bowl just on talent alone. You lose Goddard, you lose AJ, that completely changes, and you might not even make the playoffs. That you're more likely not going to win your division. You know what I mean? Because just facing history, no team has won the division 3 times in a row. You're the first team in 20 years who've won it twice back to back. You know what I mean? Not saying it can't happen, but the odds of it happening is slim. And that just compounds that. And next thing you know, now you're fighting an uphill battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't agree.